over and have a look. We'll ask her to be quiet for a minute. There. As I promised, here is my tractor. This tractor is a very old tractor. She's 77 years old. She was made in 1943. Now today's all about the VE Day celebrations. And she was made for the Dig for Victory campaign, which is how Britain fed itself during the last World War. Now, what happened is a company that made motorboats called B&B, British Motorboats, realised that there wasn't enough tractors to grow all the food that Britain needed to eat. So it started producing these. British motorboat. This one is the plowmate. There was two others. There was a smaller one, the cultmate, a tiny one, the homemate. And there was a full-size tractor called the President. This was made in Banbury in Oxfordshire, and the engine was shipped all the way from America as part of the Americans' help before they actually joined the war, part of the Lend-Lease programme. So it's got a Briggs & Stratton ZZ unit. Now if you have a look at it, big old lump. But that is only 6 horsepower. It's an enormous engine. It's got a displaced combustion. Any of those who are in my lawnmower maintenance will be interested to see some of the details on it. The magneto is a horseshoe magneto built into it. It's an over the centre belt clutch, belt drive, big gearbox, differential, and it's got brakes. They're grease packed brakes. So when I pull a brake on this side, I stop this wheel, but that wheel goes twice as fast, and that's how you turn corners. This has got a little trailer on it, which I used actually on my wedding to get back from the church with my wife on the back. So this has got some history with our family. When my daughter was 9, I taught her how to drive it. So it's got big history with my family. Yes, she'll be nodding now. She's using the camera as we speak. I want to show you some other bits. Now this is the plough. And that would, instead of the trailer, attach on the back of the machine. Now as this is pulled from this side through the soil, this, which is called a coulter, would cut the soil and it slits it. This, which is the plough and the mould-board, would pick up the soil, which is about 11 inches deep, which would be about 27 centimetres deep under the soil, pick it up and turn it over as the tractor pulled through the ground, so it's upside down. That you would plough. Then, when you want to grow stuff, so you're growing potatoes, you would have a toolbar behind it, and these are to ridge your potatoes. So you've got nice big ridges in the soil, and then you'd go along another 30 centimetres to one side and fill in the ridges again once you've planted your potatoes. This thing here is a potato lifter. And this would go on the back of the tractor when you wanted to harvest your potatoes. And the soil would go through the fingers of it, and it would leave all the potatoes on top of the ground so you could walk along behind and pick them up. Also, these tractors used to run cement mixers, little milling machines, little threshing machines. There's a big power takeoff, and then you could have a belt running to a saw bench or something else. In other words, these things were meant to solve all of a small plot holder's problems. However, something got invented after the war and made popular, which was the little grey Fergie. And from then on, farmers didn't want these small tractors, they wanted a small, full-size tractor. And these gradually faded away. And now, you don't often see a machine of this size anymore. They've all been melted down for something else. However, this one, and we call her Betty, is going to stay in my family. And the story behind her is, I went for a walk with my dog and I saw this machine sitting in a field. and I stuck a note through the man's door. If you want to sell it, I might be interested in buying it. Anyway, a year later I get a phone call, some money changed hands, I pulled it out of the field, cut the tree down that was growing through it, and thought I might do it up. Well, I got a little obsessed, and then a year later it went into one of the big agricultural shows, and I drove it around the show ring and had video of it, and it made the local newspapers. They're still around, you just do not see them very much anymore. This thing is a thing of the past. And even the tyres are a thing in the past. You can't get them anymore very easily. So one day I may have to save up all my pennies and buy some new tyres for it. However, I don't use it very often. But one day, when everything is back to normal again, hopefully I'll take it around some tractor shows. And who knows, I may even see you there. So there's a few things really to think about. This was designed and built for the Dig for Victory campaign, which was part of the war. It was owned by the Ministry of Agriculture, and it was let out to farmers who needed it. Eventually it was sold off and arrived at me and underwent full restoration 20 something years ago, so it's probably due for another restoration, or at least another coat of paint. Not much else to say about it apart from the competition. Now the competition is to draw a nice picture and either take a photo and download it, and so we can put it online. The actual prize is going to be an Aeonium, which is one of those. Not much of a prize, I know, but these grow up like that, produce all the buds, and they get huge. But you've got to keep it inside during the winter. But saying that, I'm sure you'll have fun growing it. Right, back to my tractor. Picture this thing being used, and believe it or not, it used to be used quite often by women. Now there's something you can look up online, is the Women's Land Army and what they did for their bit during the war, which is very important. And also, well, it's during the wartime, so do some pictures of Spitfires and tanks and whatever you like, and Victory V celebrations, or even a picture of me riding along on the back of it. Oh dear, so you want to go now, do you? Oh dear. The one thing about my daughter, once I taught her how to drive it, she would be constantly driving it around the garden. There's something about these things, they're slightly hypnotic, let's say, even the engine sound. So, 1943, 77 years old, this is my B&B plowmate and my tractor and my little baby. So, draw us a picture, stay safe, and I'll see you for Grow Joe another day.